Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Quickflash, which is a pixelated art style RPG with turn-based combat and lots of RPG elements as well. As always, we'll look at the options first and then we'll jump straight into the game. I'll give you my pros and cons to what I like and what I don't like. And unfortunately with this game, there's a lot of quality of life updates that need to be made in order for this to be playable, in my opinion. I spent more time getting frustrated at things not working as they should than actually getting into the story and enjoying the game for what it is. But let's not waste any more time, let's get straight into those options. So the options then, as you would expect from a pixelated art style game, there really isn't a lot here. It's actually quite disappointing. There's zero graphics options, so to speak. There's not even a full screen mode. It's very, very disappointing indeed. What you do have is you can have always run on or off, remember command on or off, and then your volume settings. It is worth noting that the volume is incredibly loud and also a bit tinny. The quality isn't great. And one of the noises that they use in game really grates on you after a while. I don't really know why they chose it. But there's not really much else to discuss about the options right now, so we're going to jump into the game. And I want to take you through the customization of the characters that you can do. It's pretty standard RPG stuff, but nevertheless worth taking a look at. Alright then, so this is the character customization screen. This is where you can see your items, your abilities, what you can equip, statuses. You can go for the options, you can save, which I would very highly recommend as the game does not have an autosave feature. And then you can end game and go back to the title. It's pretty standard stuff. The thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that instead of it saying whether it is a potion or an elixir or, you know, typical standard names for potions, they're just green, yellow, purple, blue. They're just different color liquids. And unless you come into this screen or read and take a lot of note of the tutorial, which does it very slowly, you don't really know what they are and what they do. You kind of have to figure it out as you go along. The other thing is, once you've clicked on an item, the only way you can come out is by pressing escape. It would be nice if there was a button somewhere on this screen that said back, or, you know, the previous message or whatever. It's just so that you don't have to keep using your mouse and then going all the way over to escape key. It's kind of cumbersome and a bit janky and not well thought out. Then you can access your weapons and your armor that you've got, and then any key items that you find as well. Your abilities, you learn abilities as you go along. I will say that leveling up is incredibly quick. The XP that it gives you for certain bosses and battles, bearing in mind that so far they have all been scripted. There's no random battles thus far. I don't know if that's going to change throughout the game. But you learn abilities as you go along and you level up. It's pretty standard stuff, but here you can see all of the abilities that are available to you. And it will tell you what it does on each item as well, and the MP cost. Scaling is interesting in the game so far from what I've seen. It seems like the enemies aren't too tough to combat if you're used to JRPGs. If you're not, it could be a bit difficult because they do a lot of damage very quickly. In your equip screen, you can equip certain items and things that you may want to do. We've got a lucky hat here, but we've got the quick hat instead. This is not available to equip on my current character. I'll have to wait until it switches to the light side in order to do so, but again, it shows you the stats here, and when you are able to select on it, it will show you the stat change, which is always good. It's got a nice optimize button if you wanted to use that instead, and then you can clear all of the items off as well. Your statuses, again, this is something that has been around in JRPGs for a long time. Some statuses stay after combat, others don't. But it also shows you your entire stats of everything. It shows you current HP, current MP, the amount of XP you need for the next level, current XP, all that good stuff. And it shows you what's equipped as well. And then again, you've got your options, save and end game. Not a bad customization screen, if you like. It's very standardized. There's nothing really outlandish here. Nothing too out there or different. It would be nice though if, like I say, there was some more quality of life updates where you could go back from certain options to, you know, just make your life a little bit easier. Let's look at the gameplay now. Alright, so we're in the game. You move by using your mouse and you click on certain areas of the screen to move around. This isn't necessarily bad. It's better than using WAS and D to move around. However, it's not very accurate. And the character will tend to move wherever the character deems fit, or the fastest route from A to B. This is particularly annoying in the first sequence of the game when you are tasked with avoiding certain people, and if you get seen by these purple guards, it's an instant game over. There's no do-over, there's no reset to just the beginning of the task. It's a you lose, instant permadeath, gotta load in again. This is further exemplified by the fact that there is no autosave. You have to save manually, so it's advisable that whenever you get a new task, I would probably save just to be sure. Another problem with the mouse movement is the fact that when you change areas, like so, you're taken to a new scene. If you don't click in the right place, you will just constantly go back and forward. So if I demonstrate here, if I click to the left of my character, he will then leave the building. If I click to the right of the character, he will leave the building. And this doesn't matter where I click on the screen. If it's to the left or the right, he will just leave the building or the scene, depending on whether you're going to a different area or just coming back to this one. You have to just basically click dead in front of you in order to move to the next area. And it's quite a bit to get used to, and incredibly frustrating, especially early game when you've got places to go, and again with these guards that are trying to stop you. It would be nice if this was made a bit more precise, a bit more accurate with the movement, just to make it a bit easier on the player. The text of each people that you can talk to, because it's a JRPG, everybody can be spoken to, it's not the best, it's not the worst, but it's definitely a thing, it definitely exists. The story writing as a whole, it's very cliched. It's, you know, two star-crossed lovers. You've got to fight for light and darkness to unite to save the world. It's very, very outdone, if you like. But that's pretty much it. There's chests you can find, and there is combat in the game as well. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and find some combat, and then we'll jump back in, and I will explain how the combat works. Alright, so we're in some combat. It is pretty standard for JRPG. You've got your attack, you've got your special ability, be that magic or, you know, a special sword skill. You can defend and then you can use your items. It is turn-based and it is based on stats. So the faster you are, the more likely you are to go first. You have the ability so far to fight as two people. You start as the wizard, which is the dark, and then you start this paladin character, that is light-based. And you do different abilities and you've got to try and beat them down. You've got potions that you can use, things to regain your health and stuff like that, which is useful. It's nice. The enemies are rather tough. Like, it does throw you into some interesting boss battles straight away to really get you going. And we don't have any MP. This is going to be a problem. And then you basically click and point on the enemy that you want to do, and you have to kill them in order to progress. Nothing amazing, nothing out there with it. It's pretty standardized for a JRPG, but it works fairly confidently, it works fairly well, and like I say, it is fairly challenging, especially if you're not used to JRPGs. So it's pretty good. It's just, for me, a lot of it is the quality of life stuff that goes on. There's a lot of things that could be improved with the game overall. But honestly, as a JRPG, it's not too bad. It gives me a lot of Final Fantasy vibes. And on the whole, it's pretty damn good. I would pretty much recommend this game. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.